guys, it's Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. So today, guys, we're going to finish on with my palette declutter. I hope that this can be the last video for the palettes. I don't think I'm going to have time to do the singles with the palettes because there's still 3.5 big buckets left, and I want to get that done in this video. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So this first bucket, I know that I'm probably not going to get rid of any, but maybe one. These are palettes that I still have to review for the month that I've used for this month. So, the first one is, or the first two are these She Glam palettes that I used. I will be keeping these. They look like that. Then I have the new Mini Biba palette from Natasha Denona. I will be keeping that. The Home for the Holidays by Nomad Cosmetics. I will be keeping that. I have the Cherry on Top Sweet Shops from BH Cosmetics. I will be keeping that. I have the Melt Amore Mariposa palette that I will be keeping. I have the Maybelline New York, or Nudes of New York, that I will be keeping. And I know this has been around forever, but I just tried it for the first time this month. I have my Vive Essentials palette that I definitely will be keeping. And I have the Fall Magic from Unearthly Cosmetics palette that I will be keeping. So, let me put these back in the bucket. Okay, I'm back. So, starting on this other bucket over here, I have this palette, which is a magnetic palette. And in here, I have, I don't know what brand these are. Let's see. Itsy, I-T-S-E. I have that. I have a couple of highlighters from Ofra in here as well. I'm going to be letting all of these go. I know that this is an Ofra highlighter. I'm not sure what these are, but these 6 are from the Itsy brand. Whoops. It's whatever is on the front of this. That's how it's spelled. But anyway, I'm going to let those go. This is the BH Cosmetics Romantic Nomad palette. And I am going to let that go. This is the Crown Pro palette. I love the colors in this palette. I'm going to put that in the maybe pile. I have used that to death, as you can see, and it's because I love it. This is the Zodiac palette by BH Cosmetics. No! No, no, no! Oh. If you're wondering what I'm so upset about, I just opened this up and half of the shadows in here are crushed. How did that happen? I do not want to get rid of this. I'm going to repress these. They're just that good. I don't know what happened, but I'm not getting rid of that. Okay. That was one of the first palettes that BH came out with that I thought was fabulous quality. And I have used that time and time again. I mean, going out places, whatever. This has been a good palette. And I know that BH does not sell them anymore, so I do not want to get rid of that. The next one is the Nudie Patootie by Laura Lee. I will be keeping this one. I do love it. The next one is my Melt Millennial Pinks palette. A lot of people do not like this palette, but I love it, and I love the colors in it. So I will be keeping that. This one I don't think you can get anymore, but I love it. It is from Oakland, and it is the Natural Matte palette. It was meant to be a dupe for the KVD Matte Metal palette, and I missed that one, and that's the only reason why I got this dupe. And it is, it's good. It's decent quality. No, the shimmers are not blow you away, but I'm not ready to let this go just yet. So I'm looking at it now thinking, do I need this? I've got all these colors in other palettes. But I just really, I'm not ready to let it go yet. The next one is the Physicians Formula Butter Collection and Casey Holmes. I have used and abused this one, but I am going to let this one go. It's the size of it I can't deal with. Here is Hip Dot. This is the C-Note palette. And I will be keeping this one. I love the blues in that. Here is the Violet Voss Olive You Forever. Wow. I'm going to put that in the maybe pile. I can't believe I'm having such a hard time with that. This is the Ofra and Samantha March Life is a Draft palette. I'm going to be keeping this one. This is from Storybook Cosmetics, and this is Once Upon a Time, and I am going to let this one go. This is the Naked Honey palette from Urban Decay. I'm keeping that. And this is the Mary Jane from Melt. I am keeping that. Here is Illamasqua's Unveiled Artistry palette. I'm going to let this one go. It's not that there's anything bad with the formula. It's just the color story. They look like the same color all over the palette, and I can't deal. Let's see. Breakfast in Bed by Beauty Bakery. I don't have anything else from this brand. You know, I think I'm just going to let this go because I don't think I'm going to use that. This is the Young and Wild palette from Tarte. It's so heavy. So, hold on one second. I will be keeping this palette. And now that I'm looking at this, let me get this Crown palette because I'm seeing all those orange tones and things. And I believe yeah, I think I can let this one go. I think between this and other palettes, I think I'll be able to come up with that color story. This one is the Alter Ego Blooms palette. It is supposed to be a dupe for the Natasha Denona Love palette, which I do have, but I am keeping this one. I don't think I want to get rid of any of my Alter Ego palettes. This is my Tarte palette. It is the Clay Play palette. I love this. It's all matte. I love this palette because in this palette I can do my eyes, I can do my eyebrows, my bronzer, all that. It's a total face palette, eye palette. And so I like this, like if I need to take something and I don't have enough room to take a bunch of things, I can take this. I just really love this palette. It's been a staple in my collection for a long time. Back to the All of You Forever palette. You know, there was something about this palette that spoke to me when it came out, and that's why I bought it. I remember using it, and I wasn't that happy with it as far as the color story. But again, looking at it, there's something drawing me into this palette. So I'm going to keep it for now. I can't believe it, but I am. So let me get these back in the basket here and grab another one, and I'll be right back. Okay, we got another huge one here. Right off the top, I have this Ace Beauté Nostalgia palette. And I love Ace Beauté. And I know that they've redone their formula, but I didn't see anything wrong with their old formula. So I am going to keep this. I did take it out of the box, though. At some point, I was into keeping boxes, and I really don't want to keep boxes, so I don't know. This is the Juvia's Place Vanessa palette. I love this palette. She is staying. This is Wild Child from ColourPop. I will be keeping this one. I love these deep, dark colors. Love them. Here's the Lush Palette by ColourPop. This is another one I will be keeping. I love the color story in that one. This is At Forest Sight, the Raw Beauty Christie palette. I will be keeping this one. Although these two do kind of look similar, I'm still keeping both. I loved the Lush palette when it came out. I did not pick this one up when it came out. And they never restocked it. And I found this for sale. Actually, a friend of mine was selling this from her collection. And I bought it. So glad. This is the Canyon palette from Alter Ego. I want to think that this is either the Sunrise or the Bronze palette. I'm not sure. But it's supposed to mimic one of those. I've got the Sunrise. But I don't have the Bronze. But I'm keeping this regardless. I love Alter Ego's formula. Whether they're dupes or not, I love their formula. So I'm keeping it. This is my She's in Parties from Melt Cosmetics. It's going nowhere. Number one, it's Melt. And number two, it's purple. So, yeah, anybody that knows me knows that purple is my jam. This is from BH Cosmetics. It's the Lunar New Year's palette. And I will be keeping this because I love the shades in here. There are glitters in here that I'm not happy about. There's actually 5 of them. But what I love are these yellows, these neon greens, these reds. I just love it. So I'm keeping this one. Let's see, this Lime Crime palette, what it's got going on. It's just very soft and romantic. I think I'm going to keep this. I actually thought I was going to let my Lime Crimes go, but I decided against it. So this is the Greatest Hits Classic, and I'm keeping that. Here is the Melt Vita palette. I do not have the Morte palette. I wish I did, and if I ever get a chance to get it, I will be getting it if I have to sell a kidney to get it. This is the Altera Eyes Never Lie palette. This was sent to me from Clara, my friend in Germany. So I will be keeping this one. Here is Juvia's Place, the Rebel Grays. I love this color story. And when I used this, people lost their minds over my eye look that I got. So I will be keeping that. So this is Indie Beats Platinum Hits 2. I love this palette. I will be keeping it. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I missed out on the first one, and I hope to still get my hands on it at some point. But this one is staying. this little Just Color eyeshadow, I got it from Shop Miss A. I'm going to let that go. These are the old Makeup Geek formula shadows, and I will be letting them go because I have all of the new ones. Here is my Autumn Leaves palette by Simply Posh Cosmetics. I love this palette as well. Keeping. Here is the 80s Baby by Pinky Rose. I will be keeping that. I feel like I'm keeping everything, and I didn't mean to. I have my 3 Sydney Grace and Tim Talia palettes. I got the dark versions. I will be keeping those 3. Don't slide out on me. This is from Douglas Cosmetics. It's the Palm Springs palette. This was a gift from Clara from Germany, so I am keeping this one. This is my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk palette. I will be keeping this. I have my Huda Beauty Jaguar palette that I will be keeping. Here is the Juvia's Place honey, the Rebel Honey palette. I will be keeping. The Pinky Rose Exotic Peacock. I'm keeping that one. Nabla Cutie palette. I love the Nabla palette, so I'm keeping those. ColourPop Tinkerbell. Keeping that one. Nomad, of course, is not going anywhere. This is the Berlin Underground. I love this palette. That was one of my first Nomad palettes. Here is my Nomad Haunted Europe palette. Lisa, get it together. I will be keeping that. I also have the 3 Glam Light palettes that I got. I didn't get the 4th one because I didn't like that. So I got the Dirty Martini, which looks like this. I got the Wine palette, which looks like this. And I got the Chocolate Martini, which looks like this. So I did not get the Strawberry Daiquiri because I did not like that color story. This is the Moonspell 2 from Lunar Beauty. I'm keeping it. I'm running out of room. That's why I didn't open that. I also have the Age of Opulence palette. I was not happy with this performance. I was not happy with the formula. The shimmers creased really bad. I am keeping this for video purposes. But, and you know, some people love them and some people don't like them. And so I am curious also to use it a couple more times. But I don't see it getting much better. I mean, and as far as the creasing, the shimmers creasing, I mean, I don't see that changing. But I do want to keep it just to play with it a little bit more and also to have something from the brand in my collection. I also have this Ofra Good To Go palette that I'm going to be keeping. I love that green shade. And I'm keeping it. So let me get these back in the basket. And I will be back to go through, I think, the last basket. So hold on. Okay, I'm back with the final tub. We are winding this sucker down. Okay, so first off, I have from CC Color, I have the Fairy Tale palette. I'm going to have to put this in a maybe pile until I get through a couple of these, and then I will know what I'm going to do. I have my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I'm going to keep it because it's a classic. I also have from Face Candy the Sugar palette, which is supposed to be a dupe for the Sweet Peach I'm letting that one go. I have from CC Color the Cherry Palette, which I'm going to be keeping. I have the Bronze Palette from CC Color, which I'm going to be keeping. Actually, no, I'm going to let that go because I have the Honey Palette, so I don't have any reason to keep that. I have the BH Cosmetics Glam Reflection Palette. I'm going to let that go. I love that color story, but I've got so many similar things in my collection. I'm going to let the Violet Voss Essentials palette go. It looks like this. And I'm going to let the Violet Voss Essentials 2 palette go as well. I have the BH Cosmetics Lavender Prints. I don't even know. There you go. It looks like this. And it is pigmented. I'm going to keep that. Here's the Alamar Cosmetics palette. Volume 1, I think is what this was. Yeah. I love this palette. And I'm sticking it back in my collection. This is the C Color Savannah palette. This is an all matte palette. And I freaking love this. So I'm keeping it. Here is the Balm Meat Matte Nude. I'm going to let that go. I have the Kylie Burgundy palette. I'm going to let that go. I have the Winky Lux Kitten palette. I'm going to let that go. I have the Maybelline Soda Pop palette. I love this palette. And it is going nowhere. I just love this palette. I have the Urban Decay Born to Run. I love this palette as well. It is not going anywhere. I have the Artistry palette. Is this from Bad Habit? I'm going to let that go. I cannot remember who done that. Here is the Aurora palette by Bad Habit. I'm also going to I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to let it go. I mean, it's very nice, as you can see. But I'm going to go ahead and let it go. Here is the Luna palette from Bad Habit. Again, with these purples. I just love them so much. I'm going to let that go. Okay. Hello Charmer. This is a BoxyCharm palette, I do believe. And it is pretty, but I'm going to let it go. This one, y'all are going to think I'm crazy, and you can if you want to. It is old. But I still love this palette. And that is the Urban Decay Smoky palette. You all know I love a smoky eye, and there is nothing better to give it to you than this. I still love these tones in here. I just love it. So I can't get rid of it yet. I still use it. I still grab it. I can't let it go. Here is the Makeup Revolution Iconic Pro palette. I'm going to let this go. Had it for a long time and I have used and abused it. This is the Makeup Revolution Ultra Eye Contour Light and Shade palette. It is old as well and I'm going to let it go. Let's see. This is the Hip Dot Zion palette. I'm going to be keeping that for now. Here are some more Makeup Geek eyeshadows that I'm going to let go of because I have the new formula. Here is the Glam Metals from Crown. I'm going to let that go. Here is my Dusk to Dawn from CC Color. I love this palette and I'm keeping it. This next one is going to be depotted. I'm not even going to talk about who it's by. But you can see it there. I'm going to depot it because I love these shades. So. Oh. Here is another one from CC Color. This is the Cabana. I love this one as well. So I'm keeping it. And I also have the Jungle Fever one from CC Color. It looks like this. It's so fun and tropical. So I'm keeping that. I have the Arabesque palette from Bad Habit. It looks like this, and I've actually hit pan on this. So I'm going to let it go, though. But I used it to pieces. Literally. Now I have all of my Dominique Cosmetics palettes. I have the Berries and Cream. Open. Berries and Cream. I have the Celestial Storm palette. I have the Latte palette. And I have the Rustic Glam palette. They're all staying in my collection. And last but not least, oh, wait a minute. This is an out of place one. Alter Ego Temptress palette. I'm keeping this because I said I like Alter Ego. And then the last of these palettes, and I do have another stash that I need to go through that I had forgot about, but this is my Lorac Los Angeles palette. I'm keeping that. It's the only Lorac palette that I own. The rest of these are my Zoeva palettes. This is the Screen Queen. I'm keeping it. The Caramel Melange, whatever. I'm keeping it. Cocoa Blend. Love this one. And the Spice of Life. Keeping. Okay, so this is all of my palettes. The next thing that I have is, oh God, I've made a mess on my shirt. Look at this. I've got eyeshadow all over my shirt. Oh, well. I decided, I think, I'm going to let this one go. That was the one that was on the do not know list. But the next section that I have here that I'm going to go over is specialty palettes. These are ones that are full of shimmers and full of like metallics or multi-chromes. Or should I really put those in my singles? Because a lot of those are singles, even though some of them are palettes. I think this video is long enough, so I think I'm going to put those in my singles. So that will be it for this video, because we've went through all of my palettes. So If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, guys. If you like eyeshadow, hit that subscribe button. If you like makeup, high-end, low-end, dirt cheap, expensive, whatever, it's all here. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button and share my channel out if you want to. And until next time, until next time, guys, God bless, and I love you all.